We've all been there, right? You know you should stretch more, but somehow you always find an excuse not to. Well, today we're diving into a mobility routine from instructor Rafael Andre that is specifically designed to tear down those excuses. It's a simple, really powerful practice you can do right at home to unlock your body and reconnect with it.
I mean, this quote really says it all. The whole point is to remove any barrier you might put up. No gym? No problem. Don't have any fancy equipment? You don't need it. All you need is a little bit of floor space and a few minutes to actually listen to what your body is trying to tell you.
So, here's the path we're going to take. We'll kick things off with the core philosophy behind the movement. Then, we're going to work our way down the body, starting with the neck, moving to the spine, then unlocking the hips and legs. And we'll wrap it all up with the one thing that truly makes it all click, the mind-muscle connection.
Okay, so let's start with the single most important rule of this entire routine. Seriously, before we even do a single stretch, we have to understand the principle that keeps us safe and actually makes this whole thing effective. This is so much more than just stretching. It's about learning to have a conversation with your body.
This right here might be the most critical takeaway you get today, learning the difference between discomfort and pain. Discomfort is that good feeling, that productive sensation of a muscle getting a deep, manageable pull. That's our goal. That's the zone we want to live in. Pain, on the other hand, that sharp, stinging, intense signal, that's not a goal. It's a stop sign. Your body is yelling at you to ease off, and you have to listen.
All right, now that we have that super important safety rule down, let's start our journey through the body. And we're going to start at the top in an area where pretty much all of us hold on to stress and tension, our neck and shoulders. Our very first move is going to target the trapezius muscles. You know that tight, knotted feeling you get from sitting at a desk all day or from looking down at your phone? Yeah, that's the spot. This is what we need to release.
So here's how it's done. First, you create an anchor for yourself by sitting on one hand. This keeps your shoulder from hiking up. Then you gently, and I mean gently, guide your head to the opposite side. But here's the secret sauce, your breath. Every single time you exhale, you consciously think about relaxing that anchored shoulder down, just letting it drop. You'll feel the stretch deepen. Hold it for at least 30 seconds to give that muscle time to really let go.
And there it is again, that golden rule. It's a constant reminder you'll hear over and over. If you feel any sharp pain, you've gone too far. The goal isn't to push through pain, it's to back off just enough until you find that sweet spot of productive discomfort.
Next up, we're moving down from the neck and into the spine. The big idea here is to create space, to decompress those vertebrae, and to build some much-needed flexibility all the way through our back.
And to get that done, we're going to use a pose called puppy dog. And let me tell you, this one is fantastic for opening up the upper and mid-back.
Now, form is everything here. You start on all fours, but pay close attention to this detail. Your hips need to stay stacked right over your knees. Don't let them shift back or forward. Once you've got that solid base, you just walk your hands forward and let your chest melt down toward the floor. Gravity does all the work for you. Just relax your head and neck and breathe.
I love this cue because it's so vivid. Picturing your spine in the shape of a horse's saddle is a perfect way to get the right curve in your upper and mid-back. It reminds you that we're not trying to crunch the lower back, we're trying to create a beautiful, open curve in that thoracic spine area.
Okay, time to shift gears and move down to the powerhouse of the body. We're now targeting the hips and the legs. This is all about counteracting that tightness we get from sitting all day and really unlocking our body's movement potential.
We're going to start with a stretch that probably looks pretty familiar. It's a classic glute stretch. But here's the twist. We're going to supercharge it with a really powerful technique that physical therapists use to get amazing results.
It's a technique called contract relax, and it's kind of like a little magic trick for your nervous system. By tensing the muscle that you're currently stretching for just a few seconds, you trick your body's reflexes. Your nervous system responds by basically telling that muscle to let go, which allows you to sink way deeper into the stretch than you could before. It's a game changer.
The whole cycle is super simple. It's just 3 steps. First, pull your knee toward your opposite shoulder until you feel that first bit of a stretch. Second, contract. Gently push your knee into your hands for about 5 seconds, but don't let it actually move. And third, relax. Let go of that push, take a deep exhale, and you'll feel how your body just lets you ease a little bit deeper into the stretch.
To bring this whole section together, we're going to hit a classic pose that really integrates everything. Downward dog. This move is incredible because it targets the entire backside of your body, what's called the posterior chain. all the way from your calves and hamstrings up your back.
So let's break down the key things to focus on here. The number one goal is to lengthen the back of your legs. So think about pushing your hips up high and back, creating a sharp V shape with your body. And please, do not worry if your heels don't touch the ground. That's a huge myth. It's way more important to focus on that hamstring stretch than it is to dump all your weight into your shoulders. Feel free to pedal your feet out a bit and just explore the movement.
And that brings us to our final section, which, honestly, this is the secret ingredient. The physical movements are just the tools. The real magic, the thing that unlocks your true potential for mobility, happens when you bring your mind into the game.
This is where we go from just passively sitting in a stretch to actively participating in it. So while you're holding a pose, you bring all of your focus, all of your attention to the exact muscle you're targeting. You literally visualize the muscle fibers getting longer, creating more space. It might sound a little out there, but this focus and tension makes a massive physical difference.
So when you put it all together, progress really just boils down to these core ideas. It's about being consistent way more than being intense. It's about using your breath as a tool and your mind to make the stretch even better. And it's about having the wisdom to work in that productive zone of discomfort without ever pushing into pain. That right there is the formula for real, lasting change. And really, that's the beauty of this whole routine. It's not complicated, it's simple, it's fast, and it is incredibly effective. It's a practice you can use anytime to release tension, feel better in your own skin, and build a foundation of mindful mobility that will serve you for life. So, to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with this question. Just take a second and check in with yourself. Of all the movements we just went through, which one did your body just say, "Ah, thank you" for? Which one did you need the most? Your answer to that question, well, that's the perfect place for you to start. Thanks so much for joining me.